All right, hello everybody. My name is Chris Nickson. I'm with MiRealSource. I'm a realtor and also with MiRealSource. And today we're going to get you going on a cloud CMA class and how to do it. I don't know, Debbie was on here briefly. I think she stepped off. Or are you still here, Deb? So Debbie Ramfajato, for those of you who aren't familiar with who she is, she's director of our training and education for MiRealSource. So if you have any questions after this, reach out to Debbie and she'll be happy to help you out. The MiRealSource website, I'll show you where that's at afterwards, and you can see the video of it. So normally we have somebody here when we do these presentations that can answer questions. So if you have a question, pop it up there on the screen, and I'll try to do my best while I'm going along to keep the class moving and respond to the questions at the same time. So at this time, I'm going to get going. I'm going to click my screen off, and so that all you see is my main screen here where I already have Paragon pulled up. So with that, I'm going to stop my audio and go from there. All right. So hopefully everybody can still see me and hear me. Bring this up to full screen. So today's class is all about preparing a CMA, going through cloud CMA. And what you use when you're going to see if you're going on a potential listing appointment. And so, I feel sometimes realtors don't do enough of their job when they are doing a CMA to accurately, this is where when you CMA for your client, it'll really help set you apart as to why they should be using a realtor right now. Okay. So CMAs, they take a little bit of time to prepare. You should do your homework when you do a CMA, because the purpose of doing a CMA in most cases is because you want to get that listing appointment. So as much information as you can get in that CMA and preparing it, it's an easy transition to roll all that into the information you're going to need on a listing ticket. So, and the other thing you have to stress to your clients when you're meeting with them is that a CMA is not an appraisal. Unless you're a licensed appraiser performing an appraisal, this is not an appraisal. And I'll show you later on where I actually include a sentence in my CMA that says this is not an appraisal, and I make sure that that they're aware of it, the people that I'm presenting to. So CMAs start, you're sitting there and you get a call from somebody and they say, hey, Chris, we're thinking of listing our home. We'd like to know what it's worth and everything else. You think you can come out and talk to me? You say, hey, yeah, great. I'd like to prepare a CMA for you and bring it out, set the appointment time, and you go out there. So it all starts, for me, how I do it. There's a lot of different ways to do it. Different agents do it differently, and different brokers have different requirements. So when in doubt, always check with your broker first. Make sure you're following their policies. What I always do is I take their address and I pull it up. Right now, the address we're going to use is 4434 Chablis in Sterling Heights. I always go to BSNA and through the tax search off of Paragon. If you click right here, you can go to BSNA online and pull up the home, and it'll automatically, you can find out the information. Two reasons why I pulled this up. There have been on more than one occasion where I've been called out to a home and I noticed that the property owner, the owner and taxpayer information down here is more than one person, or it's in a trust. And I want to make sure that if I'm dealing with a trust, if it's going to go into, you don't want to do all this work and get a listing appointment and then find out the person doesn't have the authority to list the home. So I want to make sure that the property owner or the owner and taxpayer information, that those decision makers are going to be there during the CMA. So I see two names on there. It's Paul and Kimberly. If Kim had called me, I would say, yeah, is Paul going to be there as well? Because you don't want to go through and present all this and then have somebody else present your information to them. So that's why I start with BSNA. You can see who the property owner is. Similarly, if it was in a trust, you want to make sure that the trustees are there. That should also be a little bell go off in your head that if you do get the listing appointment, you're going to need to see the articles of the trust to make sure who the decision makers are that can actually legally put the house on the market, because ultimately a CMA is to get you to that listing. So I pull up the tax information. BS&A, if you're familiar with it, will give you the year it was built. I'll make this a little bigger for you guys. The year it was built, bathroom size, square. Some of this information, so that what it helps you do is it helps you when you're going to go do your search for the property to pull up comparative properties. This is a great place to start. This is all on public record data, so it's kind of hard for someone to dispute it. And it also kind of lets you know who you're dealing with. So I pull up BS&A, it tells me it was built in 1995. It has 2 full baths, 2,900 square feet, 4 bedrooms, and 1 half bath, and the acreage size. This particular area that I'm looking at, I'm very familiar with, so I don't have to get too detail oriented in my search, because a lot of the homes in this area were all built in the same time, so it's going to be easy to find comps. So once I have that printed out and I know what I'm looking at, I come over here to Paragon, we go back to Paragon, and we create a search. We do your basic search for your residential information. You go into a residential search and you set all your criteria. I have already done this, so I am going to just, this is what it looked like. I searched a 1 mile radius from the home. Okay, here's the home and a search to 1 mile radius. They're showing me there's there's 4 properties and 2 of them are pending right now. When I run the search, I have 10 homes that are available. Most CMAs, you don't want to put in too many homes. Appraisers usually use 3 to 5 comps for their homes, usually within a half mile radius if they can, and usually within, you know, the closer 60 days, 90 days, the better. I went with 6 months just because I needed to get a few more properties in mind, my search criteria. So 10 properties came up. Our house is has a total of 3 baths that we're looking at, 4 bedrooms, 3 baths, and it's the square footage was 2,900 square feet. So you would do your due diligence and go through these 10 properties and find the ones that most closely match the property that you're looking at. Not all of them are going to work, so I'm not going to go through each one of them individually. I'm just going to select 5. Closed are always better than pendings, because pendings, you don't know what the final number is going to be. So the more closed you can put on there. I like to include a couple active if there are, because that lets the clients know what's currently on the market right now. In other words, what their competition is, and then the closed as to what they're actually closing for. Unless I need to throw pendings in there, I really don't. That's just my personal way of doing it. I prefer actives and closed. Actives, again, show what your competition is, and closed show what the market is at. So I'm just going to go through and pick, oh, I should have looked at this. The square footage, this one's 2,800 square feet. This one's 3,000 square feet, even though it's a pending. This one's 2,800 square feet. This one's 27. I'm just, ordinarily, I would go through each one of them and kind of look to see, if there were, you know, see what the similarities would be, and do a much better search than what I'm doing here. I got 5 right now that are selected. So I just want to see those 5 that are checked right there. So these are the, you know, the property you're going to start with, that you're doing the CMA for, and now you found 5 good homes that you want to incorporate into the CMA. You can do more if you like. Sometimes less is more. You start showing them too much information or too many homes, and they get bored looking through them all. So right now I have a good representation of what's in the market around their neighborhood. I got 3 closed and 2 pending. There are no actives right now, which I'll inform them in the CMA that there were no actives. So you have all this, and now you want to start your CMA. Well, here's where it's really easy. You've done your search. You got your 5 properties. You come up here to where it says actions. It looks kind of like an electrical plug to me. Right here, you want to click on this button that says Actions. And automatically it'll take you to Cloud CMA, buyer tour, showing time. We're going to Cloud CMA. And what it does by doing that is it takes all those properties that we just looked at, and it automatically is going to load them into your CMA for you. So you don't have to sit there and try to remember each MLS number, put it in there, and do all that other stuff. It'll load it up for you. Now, you name the report. The report is what is going to appear on the what's going to appear on the front cover of the report. And this was Paul and Kim Nick is their name. So Paul and Kim Nick. Down here where it says private notes, that's any notes that you want to put in there to remind you of whatever information you want to keep track of. This does not appear to your clients, and it does not appear in your CMA at all. And it says right down here, private notes don't appear in the report. You put in the subject property. In this case, it was 4434 Chablis. Now you see it automatically starts auto loading it for you, so you don't have to type in the whole one. This one's in Sterling Heights. I'll click on that. It loaded the address. As you see, it already has 4 beds and 2 baths. Those are 2 full baths, and there's 1 half bath. It is a residential property. You can come down here and put in advanced information. It has a lot size, the year built, the garage, the area, subdivision style. You can put in that if you want to. You don't have to, okay? But it automatically preloads that information for you. Also, as you can see, when we started and we clicked on the actions to create this, here are those 5 listings already selected. All that information, all that data is already brought into my report. I don't recommend doing the quick and dirty one by proximity over here. When you do the quick and dirty one, Cloud CMA just randomly selects so many properties in the area without reviewing them, without looking at them, throws them in the report, and that is a bad, in my opinion, that's not the best way to go, because you want to be able to create your value as a realtor and not just let some algorithm throw some information out there. This way, you've looked at these properties, you can see what they look like, and you're making the judgment as to what's going in there. So those exact listings were pulled over, and that's the criteria. You can always come back and edit this page. And so we're going to click on Fetch Listings. And now what it'll do, it'll start bringing that information in to begin building your CMA for your clients. You see these tabs up top. They're the same thing as clicking on these individual green buttons that are at the top and the bottom of both page that take you to the next page, the next set of actions to do. You can also just come up here and click on these, and I'll show you where that works a little later on. So here's an overhead map. It shows you where the properties are at. It puts them in an order of, this one needs to come out. It's $165,000. Let me go back and check why did I pick that one. My mistake. And this will be good. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Why is that showing up? Interesting. This one closed, did not. So right here, I'm seeing 165. I don't want that in my report. It did not close for $165,000. It's 3880 Lisa Marie, and 3880. It closed asking price. That's interesting. And I'm gonna click on this to see what happened. Oh, that's a new build. Okay, so that's a new build. We're going to get rid of this one because the asking price was $599, but it sold for $165. We don't want that in there. It's going to skew all our numbers. So we're going to go back to the Cloud CMA, and we are going to go to this property right here. and unclick it because we don't want it. Or we can come back here to criteria, which I prefer better, and just take out, which one was that? 5004867. So we're going to take out this one. We're going to take out this listing, just delete it right from our CMA. And now when it updates the listing, that one won't appear. And we don't have to worry about it now. Here are the 4 properties. We still have 4, 2 closed, 2 pending. You can rearrange these in any order. As you see right now, it always goes from lowest to highest for the close, lowest to highest for the pendings. If you want the pendings to be first, you can just put your cursor in the middle here to where it transfers from, right now I have a black arrow, it turns to that little palm. You left click and then drag them up into any order you want. So that's how you can custom change those pages, which order they appear. If, for instance, you wanted to add a listing, let's go back and find another listing we wanted to add. It's pretty simple. Search. I want to add another listing in here that we didn't have last time. What is going on? And this one comes up. We can take another one that I didn't have. I don't think we have Trillium in there. We'll see. 40216. Let me write that down real quick. Make sure we don't have it. Go back to our Cloud CMA. We do have Trillium. Silverwood, Trillium, Vintage, Lisa Marie. Silverwood and Trillium. Which one on Trillium? Sorry about this. 44056. We're going to add this one from Trillium right here. We have this one down here. We're going to add that one. So all I have to do is come over to Cloud CMA, add a listing, type in the listing MLS number, the address rather. Oh, MLS number is right there. It's 401-69802. And click down here where it says add listing. That one popped in there now, and it was a closed. So we actually have 2 on Trillium, which is pretty good to get them off on the same street. So that's how you can take something out that you don't want. If you wanted to set the price right now, you can. If you've done enough homework and you want to give them what you feel the price range should be, and then from over here you can come here and it'll create a seller's net sheet if you want to. Different realtors and different brokers have different schools of thoughts on it. If I do give a price, I'll give them a price range, and a high and a, kind of a high and a low to look at. If I haven't looked at the house, if I haven't been through the inside of the home, and all I've been able to do is kind of do a drive-by, which is always recommended before you finalize the CMA, I don't want to give them a price range because I don't know if they're at the upper end of what the market is showing for the finishes and the quality of the fixtures inside, or at the lower end, meaning the house needs updates and everything else. Last thing I want to do is go in and give them something at the higher end, and after I look through, I see they have an updated kit. They don't have an updated kitchen. They said the basement was finished, and I get down there and it's just some carpeting and a couple walls painted, not truly a finished basement. So I don't like to really have a firm price to give them until I've actually gone through the home, and then in my mind I can make the adjustments as needed. If you have already previewed the home and looked at it and you know it, and you want to put a price in there or a range in there, feel free to do that. You can put that in here in this section right here. Again, I typically don't give them a price. I'm going to discuss price with them when I get there and see where they're at, and then go from there. So now we have the front page the way the listing page the way we want. We're going to come up here and hit customize report. And this is where Cloud CMA really, really does the work for you. So I'll walk you through this page, this screen real quickly. You don't want to publish anything yet. Your CMA report starts up here. You have themes. You have different themes you can choose from, starting with the colors you want. There are some of your brokerages have specific color themes they would like you to maintain. You know, you can pick all these here and go with one that you like. I happen to have the modern blue and silver right now just because I like that color. So that's the theme I'm going to choose. The difference between the modern and these classic, it's the way the report's going to look as well, you know, when you go to print it. So I suggest you just click on some of those, play around with them, see how it looks. You can always come back and change it. It's just a couple mouse clicks away, but spend a little bit of time going through these and seeing how the different themes look and how they change the appearance. We have the theme that we want. CMA is going to apply it for me. You also have the layout. This gets to your photo page where your homes are. You can do 2 photos for the property with all the data, or photo with max data. You can do a 3-column comparison where they compare 3 or 4 homes at one time, or 4 homes together. It's all up to you. And once you select this, you can always change it as well. That's the great thing about it. So I only have 5 homes, so I'm going to go to a photo with the max data on there. The reason I don't like using 2 photos is because most realtors, when we do it, we show our street shot, and then the first photo that's in the group of photos is the same property or a similar outside photo. You end up, CMA only loads the photos in the order in which they're stored online. So if you have the street view and then another close-up view of the house, you're getting the same 2 photos up there. And so that's why I typically go to a photo with max data, maybe with the map, but these are all within a mile radius of each other. So there's really no need for me to use the map one. So we're going to go with photo with max data. The cover, there's a couple, these are, if you subscribe to CMA Premium, you can get these covers. If not, you just get the standard covers. And the font. Here are your different fonts that you can select. If you want to change the way your report looks, you have a little bit of customization here. Just click on any one of those, and that will become the font of the text inside your CMA. I have the default font right now. Over here on your left is all your content pages. The Power Pack right here, you have to be a premium member to get these pages, as along with the Tom Ferry pages as well. So right now we're just going to focus on these areas of the additional content right here. The default template is what you're seeing right here on this whole side of the page. Okay, so it always comes out in this order that you can change these pages, you can eliminate any of these pages, you can do whatever you need to on them. The first one is the title page. You also call it, this is your cover. In absence of a house photo, it usually shows an overhead view of the area with the property identified by this purple star right here. It has the address, and remember in the front page where I typed in Paul and Kim Nick, and the date you ran the report. So if you're preparing this a couple of days ahead of time, like if I prepared this on Sunday afternoon, it would have defaulted, that date would show October 17th, 2021. So sometimes I'll run the report before my meeting so that my date is current. It's always the day of my report. It has my picture and my real estate group all on there. That's your cover page, looks kind of like that. If you have a custom photo of the house, let's say you drove through the neighborhood, took a photo of the house, you can upload that photo in the criteria page, and it'll post that photo here instead of this overhead report. They call it a comparative market analysis. If you don't like that title for your cover page, you can come in and change it. See where it says comparative market analysis, hit edit, and you can just, it turns blue, you just type in there whatever you want to call it, okay? I'm gonna leave it the way it is. The cover letter, if you wanted to put in a cover letter as a stock cover letter, this is where it would be. I don't have one. Same thing with the agent resume. These pages I'm going to delete, and all you're doing is deleting it out of the CMA, not out of the template. So I'm going to come over here and click on the red circle, get rid of them. Our company, this is a stock page. I'll show you where you can go in and edit this page so it doesn't sound so robotic generated once it loads. Running a little slow today, don't know why. So there you go. A little bit about my company. I just wanted to show you what they stock generate because we don't have a commercial division and all that. I need to update this page or remove it altogether. For right now, I'm going to remove it altogether. Some of these other pages, what's in a CMA and all that, we pull out of these additional contents. They are pre-formatted. I like them quite a bit. I use them. What is a CMA is a great page. It tells you, exactly that. What is a CMA? It's a great page to have in there. Kind of explains to them what it is, and it's not an appraisal. And it gives you some talking points when you're sitting across the table from your potential clients, and something for them to read through if they want to. You can also find additional pages by clicking over here where it says standard. As you can see, I pulled out the cover letter, agent resume, and our company already. If I wanted to add those back in, all I would do is click on the plus here and it would jump back in there. We have the contact page. This is another one that's generated. It has my company logo, my name, and all that other stuff. I like to make this my last page, very last page of the report. That's just me personally. I like putting it back there. I'll show you how to move that later. We get into the listing section. You have the map of all the listings. It shows all that. And remember when we put them in the order on that first page, this is where that order appears. So if you wanted to change the order, you go back and change the order. It'll change how this page looks, but it shows you the listings of where the homes are relative to their subject property. Subject properties in purple, and the rest you can see are right there. Summary, you can read all these. Summary of comparable properties, pending and solds, and it gives automatically generated for you. Within this section, right here, we have what they call the listing chapter. This is where you're going to get into all the listings. Now, if you like each one being with a title page before that section called listings, you can leave this in. I don't like it. It becomes extra pages. I don't want the in there because my pages aren't tabbed, so it kind of is meaningless unless you're leafing through it, fingering through it. So I get rid of these. It just goes into listings. And under listings, you have the details page. I'm not going to go through every page. I'm going to show you the highlights of some of them. Here's a comparable home. And remember, we said one with photo and then the max data right here. It shows you what it was pending at, some of the fees, and everything that was there. The public remarks are down here so they can see what the homes are there. Then you have a couple options. You have the photos, which are the first dozen on one page. And again, this is where you'll see how it was like kitchen, 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 kitchen. My first dozen photos on one page show basically for this property several shots of the kitchen, which is a great job, but you don't have the ability to go in and edit the listing. CMA just pulls what's there in MiRealSource, so you're going to see they're not really seeing much of the house here. So in this case, I'm going to add more photos, all the rest right here. That page will jump in here, and now you'll see what it looks like with now you get all the photos, which, in some homes you have 60 some photos. You're going to have 4 or 5 pages of photos. And if you're printing it out in color, if you got to do it at your broker and he charges you so many per page, or if you go to a, Kinko's or one of those and print it out, it can add up there when you start getting a 40-page CMA. Also, my experience is clients don't want to look through 40 pages of stuff or 50 pages of pictures on a home, especially today as they become more sophisticated in knowing how to use the digital media that's available to them. You can just show them a couple pictures and let them see a little bit of the home, and then they'll go through, you know, and go and find them on their own if they want to. I don't want them to spend their time at the CMA going through 5 photos of another person's home, and they're more or less shopping or seeing what's in the home and not focusing on why I'm there. My time is valuable, so I want to get them to get ultimately to a listing, signing a listing agreement. By the way, when I go on a CMA appointment, I always prepare a listing packet with me just in case. And I always take that with me just in case. If they like it, I'm ready to have them sign something. So it's up to you if you want to include all the photos. In this case, for that one listing, you're going to have 5 pages plus the previous page. That's 6 pages of photos. And I don't want people sitting there looking at their couch and their china cabinet and all that other stuff. You know, again, these homes were all built in the same neighborhood, similar styles, so they kind of know what the homes look like there. So most of the time, I don't include the additional photo pages. But we're going to leave it in here right now. If you wanted to make adjustments, you can make, I didn't make any adjustments earlier, so there's nothing on this page. There's a part where you can make adjustments. So I'm going to get rid of this page. Unless I really, really need to make some adjustments to bring something in line, I don't mess with trying to estimate how much a basement is versus how much with or without a basement, or, you know, a 2.5 car garage versus a 2-car garage. I personally don't dial it down that much because I don't want to get into a discussion with my client as to how much the value of a finished basement versus an unfinished basement is, because they'll start paying attention to the dollars and cents of that. I'm going to say, in general, a basement could bring you this much more money or not. And I just want to give them a ballpark of where we're at. I don't try to adjust the prices directly. Again, there's different schools of thoughts out there. Some agents feel, you know, more comfortable trying to make all the adjustments. It's up to you personally. It's up to what your broker also may guide you on. Then we get into the analysis chapter. Again, anything that says chapter on it is just a cover page. And because my pages are not tabbed in a CMA, and I pay for my color copies, I want to eliminate anything I don't have to pay for. So I get rid of this page. Again, deleting it by clicking on it, on the red circle over here. And here are all your different things that come up. You have comparative property statistics that's prepared for you. It shows some average price per square foot stuff. If you want to leave that in there, you can. I'm going to get rid of that one. Sold property analysis. This just says on average, if you price it correctly, they're getting 98% and 158 days on the market. Only because this one sat out there for that long, the 364 day. So I wouldn't use this page because this number is skewed. So I want to use this listing, but I don't want to use this page because this will give them a heart attack thinking in today's market they're going to be out there 158 days. So that's where I would say, okay, I'm not going to show them this one. Suggested list price. I'm not doing anything. This is what Cloud CMA says the price should be. I never give a specific dollar. I always give a range, and I let my clients select the range. So I am not going to use that page. The seller's net sheet, Cloud CMA's seller's net, or some brokers have their own they want them to use. Either way is up to you. If you want to give them a seller's net sheet, that means you've had to have the discussion with them beforehand. How much do they owe? Are there, you know, is it first loan, second loan, and all that other stuff? You can include a seller's net here. Some brokers want you to have the seller's net sheet as part of your listing presentation, or you can put it in the CMA here. I'm going to take this out. One thing before we get to the closing chapter that I always include under analysis is the online value analysis. This page to me does a lot of work for me without me having to do anything. And again, any of those pages we took off, you can add back in by just clicking on these green pluses right here. So I'm going to add the online value analysis. The reason I like this page so much, I'm one of those realtors that don't fight Zillow. I feel my clients, by the time they've called me, they've already been looking at Zillow for a couple of months. They have a value of what they feel their home is worth. And I know I'm going to go in there and try to either convince them my number is right and Zillow is wrong, or vice versa. So with that, this report, I always point out to them that this page was provided to us by Zillow. Zillow provides us this information. And of the sold properties right here, you can see that the Z estimate on the day it was sold was 477, and it actually closed at 475. This one was 576 and it closed at 545. This one was 521 and it closed at 516, which tells me right off the bat that these properties are closing less for what the Z estimate is that day. So if I go in there and I'm going to sit down with this client and they think it's 576 and my CMA says the number should be more around the mid fives, I've already made my argument a lot easier, because Zillow is telling us on average they're off by 5.5% or $31,000 in this $400,000 to $500,000 market. That's a huge number that they're off by, that it varies. And it says Z estimates varies up to 5.7% or $31,000 compared to actual MLS prices. This makes my discussion regarding Zillow so much easier in my CMA if I feel it should be lower than what the Z estimate is. Okay. And again, this comes from Zillow. This isn't us trying to manipulate the numbers. And same thing here with the pending prices. This one is, the Z estimate was 509, and the pending is the list price is also at 509. This one's at 525, and the list price was at 520. Okay, so again, I include this page, and I also, as part of my report, I do search on Zillow, and I pull up what Zillow says the home is worth, and I include it right after this page. So, because I know they've already seen that number. 90% of the clients I sit down to do a CMA, they already have that Zillow number in their head. They have it locked in, and they want to know how closely I'm going to come to that number. So that's my starting point. So I include this, and I'll show you how I included the Zillow page in my report later. So this is called the online value analysis. I like to add it. We have your closing chapter. Again, closing chapter is just it's another tab page. I don't use it because it doesn't have a tab that's easily found in the printed version of the CMA. So I'll get rid of this. Then you have all these under closing. You can see there's features that sell. These are all stuff that are very, very good, especially if you're a newer agent, to give you talking points. The marketing action plan, if you do have a marketing action plan and you want to put it in here, you can. As opposed to theirs, I'm not using this one, so I'm deleting it. And I'm going to click through these rather quickly, but here's one that gets into commission distribution if you want to put that in there. Why you need a real estate professional. Again, it gives you something to give them talking points to. And by the way, these borders and colors change based on the colors you selected earlier in your template. So if I went up, I'll show you right now. Let's say we went to, we'll go with modern dark and red. I'll choose that theme. Nothing else will change in my report to this point. Just the theme color will take. It does. There we go. What is this? CMA. I'm going to add that. Sorry, it went back to the default templates. We got to take some things out. Listing chapter adjustments come out. Analysis chapter comes out. Online value analysis. I want adjusted list, sellers net. Closing chapter. Here's where we were. Commission distribution. Now this page, see how it's all red and everything else, it changes it. So that's what changing a theme, the theme does up there. Why you need a real estate professional, again, gives you some bullet points to talk to. Intelligent pricing and timing, first impressions are lasting. These are all pre-packaged pages that are not edited. You cannot edit them. They're good to stick in there if you want. Again, you don't need to have them in there. There's a moving checklist, listing paperwork overview. You can add or delete any of these that you want to. Staging your home, notes, guidance chapter. Those are all under closing. So read through these individually. If you want to see what they are, all you have to do is when it turns green, just click on it and you can see a preview of what's in there. Again, you can't edit these pages. Those are the only pages you can edit are things that say edit next to it. So features that sell, if you want to use this page in your report and go over it, you can. You don't have to. Then you have your guidance chapter. Again, this is just a tab page. I don't like those in there. I'm paying for my color copy, so I'm getting rid of it. Under guidance, you have all these different pre-formatted pages that you can put in there. CMAs versus appraisal is also a good one to have in there to help explain a little more about what the difference is between a CMA and appraisal. I'm going to leave that one in there, that page in there. So it's CMA versus appraisal. And again, look through some of these and see what they mean, especially if you're a newer agent. It gives you some talking points and information to leave behind. Client testimonials, if you had any you wanted to include, you include them in here. And the value of your home right here. Again, this kind of is boilerplate language. You can leave that page in if you want, or it gives you talking points again when you're sitting down with your clients and taking a look at everything. I'm just going to leave that in for today. Notes, that's obviously self-explanatory. That's going to be a note page. If they want to scribble something down, I'll make that my last page as well. The CMAs versus appraisal, I like to move. Now I'm going to put these kind of in the order I want. As I said earlier, my contact me, I like to drop all the way down at the bottom. CMA versus appraisal, I want to move that up to what is a CMA. And the value of your home, I don't want first impressions in there. The value of your home, let's just say we're going to put right here. I don't want commission distribution in there. That's the basic layout of it. Now, in addition to that, I like to go into market stats and pull up what's going on for the neighborhood so that they can have an idea of how homes are trending and things like that. I've already done that. So now I'm going to show you how to add custom pages into your report. So to add it right now, you also need to save your template, because if you go out and come back in, it'll go back to the default template, and you know, I'll have to go through, rearrange everything and change it all. So I'm going to go to where it says template, and it's this 14-page one right now. You just click on the box to where it's green, and then you just name it. And I'll call it Class CMA for myself later on, so I know which one it is. And we hit save. Now, if I go out and come back, all I have to do is open up the one that says Class CMA. It'll go back to modern dark and red theme, and it'll only have these 14 pages in it. So at this point, there's still some more stuff I want to add. Remember, I said I add the Zillow page in there. It's pretty easy to add custom pages. You come up to where your face is in the corner, or you might just have your initials if you haven't uploaded a photo. And down here, it says custom pages. So you click on custom pages. Once it loads, and it's loading, you have custom pages. I'm going to zip down real quick, and PDF. If you want to add PDFs, they're all the way down here on the bottom, and I'm going to get to that in a second. So we're going to start with custom pages. If you wanted to add a new custom page, you just title it and click add, and then you create the page. You can create a Word document, cut and paste it in here, or however you want. It's pretty simple. Here were all those editable ones that I took off out of my CMA in the beginning. These were the canned ones that were already created. You can't delete them from your archives. That's why this box is, the trash box is grayed out, meaning those are part of the CMA package. You can edit them. Like if I wanted to edit my I said I wanted to edit about our company, I come in here and we don't have a commercial division, just get rid of that. You know, you can make the edits right here. And then once you save it, that page is updated for you. So this is where you come in and you can edit some of those pages. You can also, I created a custom page that's called your CMA Criteria Explained. That was what I named it, and here's what the page is. I always tell them, I tell them what my search criteria was. How many, your CMA has 5 properties, and based on the following criteria, here's what I searched. A little bit about the home, how many homes appeared originally, and why I came up with the number of homes I did in the CMA. I've also, oops, I spelled also wrong. Bad typing. I also included the market stats report for Sterling Heights, which shows you shows how properties have been trending in your community. So I have a little paragraph in there about market stats. I changed this page for every CMA that I'm doing, obviously, because my reports are different. It might not be for Sterling Heights. And I don't always include this last sentence in here, which says, based on my analysis of your home, I would suggest listing your home between, you know, a price range. If I'm not going to discuss price at all with them, if I don't want to give them something hard, I'm going to delete that altogether. I always have this at the bottom, this note that says the list price is based solely on the analysis of the search. If I'm not giving them a price, you know, I'll delete that. But it says, the big part about it is, if I've done it without viewing the home, I say it is based on not having viewed the subject property and or the condition of the home and its upgrade and amenities. Meaning I'm saying, hey, based on what I kind of think, here's the range. I haven't looked at your home, so I can't, my range might be off when I get there. I also say that it's based on the market activity at the time it was prepared. Market conditions are always changing. In other words, I could give you something today and you call me up 30, 45, you know, 2 months later and say, Chris, we're ready to list the home. That price of that home that we discussed may be up, down, or stayed the same. So I'm letting them know that kind of disclaimer. And most importantly, I am telling them again, this CMA is not an appraisal. So that's the custom page I created that I put in there for everybody, so they know what I'm searching them for. And again, it gives me talking points when I'm sitting down with them going over the CMA. That's a custom page. That's how you create a custom page. I saved that, so we're good. Custom PDF pages are different. You're going to pull in a PDF document. Once you pull in a PDF document, they stay here until you don't need it anymore, and then you can get rid of it. So here are some uploads. I'm going to upload the PDFs now. Click on this. I want to see one thing real quick. Hold on. Sterling Heights. Okay, this is an old one. This was Sterling Heights in July. I don't need that one. I'm going to delete these. I don't want this BSNA info. This was from another one I did. I'm going to delete that. So we're going to upload a PDF now. To upload a PDF, I click where it says upload. Again, that's all the way down at the bottom of the page. I go to my desktop, MiRealSource. You can only upload one at a time. Here's the market stats. I already printed this out and saved it as a PDF to my desktop. I'm going to load that. It's part of the CMA because I want it in there. Another PDF I want to add is I like to include the BSNA information in their PDF. sorry, in the CMA, because that way they can see where I'm getting this information from, the public record tax data, showing what their taxes are and all that other stuff. You don't have to include this. I'm just showing you how to upload a PDF so that we can pull it into the report. And then the other one, as I told you, I always run a Zillow page, just kind of like a screenshot of what Zillow is showing the home is, and we're going to add that. These haven't been added to report. They're added to your kind of like your personal file that you can pull into any report at one time. So now we're going to go back to this. We got my custom pages are updated and added, and I have my PDFs I want to bring in. So we're going to go back up here to CMA. Okay, there it is. It already saved it. I want to edit it right now. That's the report I want to edit. So I'm going to click on edit because now I want to add the custom pages. Now you can go through each one of these and click update listings, which will take you to listing, and then customize. But I know right now I just want to customize. So to be a little quicker, I'm going to come up here and click on customize. And here the template is still class CMA, so I'm good. Now I want to add some custom. So the last tab here before we get to the premium stuff is custom pages. Here are all those custom pages I talked about. One of them was your CMA criteria explained. I'll show you what it looks like. It looks like this, and on the bottom it has your logo and everything else like that. So that looks good. It has the property address up here. So I want to add your CMA criteria explained. I want to add that into my report. It'll drop it in at the bottom, but we'll move those pages later. I also have the market stats, the BSNA, and the Zillow page. For right now, I'm just going to add the market stats and the Zillow page. I'm going to leave the BSNA one out, the tax one. And again, they dropped them all down here at the bottom. So my criteria explained, I want to move that up in my report to wherever you feel you want to use it. You can put it right here, right before the summary, or right before the map of all your listings. Again, it's your discretion where you want to put it. The market stats, we can put it wherever you want. Again, I'm going to put it right here before we really get into what's going on. I want to explain to them a little bit about what, before I get into what's going on with their home, I want to explain a little bit to them what's going on with the current market. And then finally, the Zillow sheet, like I said, that goes right after the online value analysis, or we're going to put this one before. So that's kind of my order right here. And as you can see, the template saved to unsaved template. If I were to go and publish this report right now and then come back to it, the stuff I just added wouldn't be there. So you have to come back and unfortunately resave this template. Now we have 17 pages, and I'm going to call it Class CMA again. I got to put the date down here because I do several of these classes and I don't want to forget which one I did. Okay, we're going to save it. Now I'm going to have all 17 pages in there for that one. At this point, you go and publish the report. You got it all the way you kind of want it. You want to see what it's going to look like. This kind of looks like the order I want. I'm pretty good with everything. I'm going to publish the report. You click on publish. Cloud CMA will automatically create the report for you. And here it is. You have several options. You can email it, copy it as a link, or copy it as a live link. But right now, I want to view what it's going to look like. So I'm going to view the PDF. This is what, if I were to go and print it out, this is what it would look like. There are 28 pages in it. That's kind of a long report. And here they are in the order that we talked about. What is the CMA? CMA versus appraisal. Your CMA criteria explained. Here's the Sterling Heights market stats report. So I can say that, hey, things have been trending up. If you've taken our market stats class, you'll know how to read this. You'll also know that The market stats, you can't change the color on it. Sorry for the Century 21 clients that are out there. It only comes in as blue and gray. And it also has residential and condo in there. You can't get rid of it. This just comes out like this, but it's a cool little graphic to show what's going on. Our market stats class explains how to, read that chart if you don't know how to already. Then we get into the map of the comparables, the summary of the properties, just all these pages we looked at. Here are all the comparable homes. And now we get into, again, we just went to the first 12 pictures. I probably, for this report, would take out, based on what I'm seeing on the photos here, I would take out I would take out this page. And the reason I would take out this page is because the people who live in the area already are familiar where that little lake is, and I don't want to waste the CMA looking at that stuff, right? I just want this information on there, the home and the features and everything else. So we'll get past all the homes. Here's your comparable property statistics. Here's I say, hey, Zillow says your Z estimate is 455.6. Based on what I feel your home is at worth, I think we ought to list it more at 440, or maybe we need to list it more at 460. And oh, by the way, Zillow's been off quite a bit on homes in your neighborhood. Okay, so that's why I print this out. I know they've already seen this number. They have it in their head that their house is worth $455,000. The value of your home, again, these are some of those canned pre-formatted sheets that are loaded up for you. Why you need a real estate professional. If you have a different sales pitch that you need and you don't want this sheet in here, we can just delete it. Again, if you're newer and you don't have a lot of content or don't want to create a lot of content, there are some pages you can automatically upload for you that does have content to help your CMA package. Intelligent pricing and timing. These are all self-explanatory, and here's the notes page, and finally the contact me. So that's what the report were to look like. I do a couple of things with this. Whenever I prepare a CMA, I always go to Office Max or Office Depot. I two-side print it, but I get a heavier weighted paper because I find most paper and most office copy machines are a thinner weighted paper. And even if you single-side it with color paper, it kind of bleeds through and the paper's real thin. It doesn't have the same feel as one that is printed on heavier stock paper. I think it's 28 pound I use, and then you get it bound real nice with a cover and all that other stuff. It cost me about $12 to get a CMA printed up. So I want to make sure, first off, I don't have a lot of unnecessary pages, and secondly, if I'm printing it up, I want to recoup that $12 or $15, whatever it is, and get it into a listing presentation. You can also print it out at a broker. If your broker has a color copier or at home, you can print it there. I just found that the standard paperweight is a little flimsy, and with all the color ink on there, it doesn't look as good or as professional. Excuse me. Earlier I said I didn't like some of the stuff that was in there. You can also view it live. I'm sorry, let me finish this page first under the published side. You can view it live, and then you can do like a Zoom call with your clients and present it. You can email the report, copy PDF link, or copy a live link. And you could make a flyer if you wanted to. Where's the old one? Nope, that was the wrong place to go. Sorry about that. Let me take back. Paul and Kim's right here. We're going to go back and edit it because, and again, we're coming to customize because I wanted to take out those photo pages. Those are down here. Photos, first dozen or so. I'm going to get rid of those. And just so you can see what it looks like, the layout. What a two-column comparison is it compares, I believe, your property with the subject property. So let's see what that looks like. And we'll change the theme. We'll go to a different theme. Just so you can see a little bit how this works. And I want to go to choosing a theme. We'll go to this modern green. Choose that theme. There we go. I'm just going to save this off right now so I can get on with showing you some other features that Cloud CMA has. Here it is right here, Class CMA, 17 pages. If I click on that, that should have been the last template I was at. There it is. That's my original one. We're with Modern Green. We're where we need to be. And let's see, I'm going to take out the photos. And we're good. Now I have to come back and save this as to Class CMA 10, 17. It's a little laborious to do that all the time, but you just kind of have to do that. So now when we publish it, I got my, we have the 2-column comparison, and you'll see a little bit different what this is going to look like when we look at it. Here to change the colors. And let's get down here. Here where they have the properties on the pending sale, it just compares 2 at a time so they can see it a little better. You can do up to 4 per page. And since this is a great report, we only have 3 and 3, 3 closed and 3 pending. I'm going to go back and change this real quick. Back to customize. Layout, and we're going to go 4 column. Oh, no, we had 3 and 3. We'll do 3 column. I'm sorry. 3 column. Class CMA. We're going to save that. We're at 3 column. We're good. Now, when we publish the report, I'm also going to save pages that I got to print out on my color copier too. View PDF. Here it is. Go right down here. Now we have, they do 3 on a page, 2 pending and 1 closed, and then the other 2 closed right here. And I went from 27 pages down to 18. Everything else in the report stays the same. There's your Cloud CMA. Again, you don't have to go all the way out. You can just, this one, if you click on any of these green tabs, it keeps you within the CMA you're working on. If you had, you can come down here and go back to CMAs. If you wanted to email it right now, you could just click on this and send an email to your client, or copy it as a PDF link and send it out to them as a PDF, or copy the live link. We'll go back to the CMA. And here we are right here. You have view PDF. Here's view live, just so you can kind of see what that looks like. Show you real quickly. It gives you, this is set up so that you can do it. It has the same pages in there, but it sets it up so that you can do it more in a listing presentation format. Just click on Start Presentation, and you can go through and do it that way. That way, if you want to meet with somebody, do it more in a virtual setting. It allows you to do it virtually with that, through that as well. Also, these 3 dots up here, these take you back to the old way. If you wanted to do a slideshow, if you're, those of you who used to use the slideshow, if you bring in a potential client into your office and you want to walk them through it with a, put it up on the big screen and give them this to look at, but also walk them through that, it automatically creates a nice presentation for you, which these arrows on the left and right take you to each page. And then you got down arrows here, which will take you to the sold homes and walk you through all the properties that have been sold and things like that. So that is the old slideshow that you could do if you want to bring your clients in and show them that in your conference room on your TV. Don't forget, a CMA can also be used not only if you're going on a listing appointment, but if somebody wants to have you help them, what should I write the offer for? And you want to give them a range. You can do a quick CMA like this and delete a lot of those pages about why you should use a realtor and everything, and give them the numbers in the Cloud CMA format if you would like to, and email it to them and say, hey, here's what I think the range is based on looking at this home, and this home. You can also use it, like I said, for either to get a prospective buyer that you want to get a listing packet from, or if you're prospective seller that you want to get a listing packet from, or if you're working for a buyer and you've looked at several homes and they're like, gosh, I'm not quite sure, what should we offer on it? What do you feel it's worth? What's the range? This is a nice way to help you look a little more professional when you're presenting to them a range of numbers. Just a couple other quick things on Cloud CMA. I highly suggest you come up here to your what's in the corner, either your face or your initials, and check your account settings. Make sure your name is right, your real estate group is right, the logo if you have it, you know, your email, all that other stuff. I know sometimes this gets updated, sometimes it doesn't. If you switch brokers, or we're getting ready to actually move, so I'm going to have to come back in and make sure some of this stuff is updated once we do the move. And also, if you want to change your photo, I had my photos updated about 8 months ago, so I recently updated all my photos here. So that's on your profile page, right, on your home page. And you get to it again by clicking up here on your whatever in the corner, either your face or your initials, and go in account settings. Custom pages again help you to here's your contact info. Sorry, you always want to make sure that I just have my mobile and my email. If you also had a Facebook page or a Twitter link or anything else you wanted to put on there, this is where you go on and do that. You'll click on add, and then you have all these designations, LinkedIn, Facebook. You just click on that, and you can add those on there, and they'll automatically appear on the bottom of every page for you. And again, that was under the upper right corner, account settings, and then under contact information. Another thing up here is lead generation. If you click on lead generation, it gives you a link that you can embed either on your Facebook or on your if you have a website on your home page that says what's my home worth. People click on that, and it'll do a quick kind of CMA for them. It'll send them some information, but at the same time, in order to get that information, they have to enter a valid email address and an address, and so of a property address. So if you want to use this, if you do a lot with social media and you want a great way to kind of capture leads, if you click on copy the link, it will give you a link that you can embed into Facebook. You just click right down here, embed Facebook, Twitter, or Pinterest, and it'll automatically put that link in there that you can put some wording around it, like, hey, if you would like to know what your home is worth, click on here for a free CMA, or however you want to word it. When people click on that, they have to enter a little bit of information, including a valid email address. So the beauty of for you is you're able to capture a lead that way. If that's something that you do, if you do a lot with social media, it's a free tool for you to embed onto your home page or Facebook page or something like that in order to capture some leads. We've had some agents who've done it, and you know, on their Facebook page they get 3 or 4 hits a month, and some who do it and don't get any. So I don't know, it's up to you if you want to put it in there. It does work. So that's everything with Cloud CMA. The only other thing I'm going to show you, which will take just about 5 more minutes of your time, is what we call a one-page CMA off of Paragon. Cloud CMA, you can either get back to it once you have the property selected, you come up here to actions and it'll pull them over, or you go into resources and you go into Cloud CMA here, and it'll bring you back to that page again we were on, where all your CMAs are, and you can do what you need to on there. So again, that was through resources, Cloud CMA. This tab up here that says CMA in your main header bar on your RealSource homepage, you don't want to use either of these 2 presentations, because it's the MiRealSource presentations. They're not as powerful as Cloud CMA. So we've also added a link here that'll take you directly to Cloud CMA, because some of our agents were going in here and going, where did my Cloud CMA go? Well, it's different than these three. So you can come up here to CMA and go to Cloud CMA, which will take you back over to where we just were. So the last thing I want to show you is kind of like a one-page report. So I'm just going to pick several properties again. Oh, I want the closed ones. And let's say you were working with the buyer that said, hey, Chris, what's a good range for me? What's a good range for me to make an offer at? I'm not sure. And you say, well, you know, here are all these properties here. These are kind of close to the home we just looked at. Same thing with this will work for a buyer or a seller. You know, you just change the narrative of your speech. These properties are similar to the homes we looked at, and for the property that you want to make an offer on, or these properties are similar to your home that we're about ready listing, up for a listing. Anyways, the process is the same. You select the homes you want to use. You come up here to where it says, oops, why can I not find it? Over here, once you have them, you come over here to where it says reports. So those are the properties we've searched and we wanted. We come over here to where it says reports. Down here on the bottom, it says CMA. You click on CMA. You have CMA Quick View, Summary, and Spreadsheet. Here's the summary. It gives you the 4 properties, the average, the minimum, the maximum, the median price, and what they sold for. This is a great little quick one-page report that you can print out and give to your clients if need be, instead of going through the whole thing of an 18-page CMA. I use this with some of my investors that want to know what homes are selling for in the area. They don't need all the bullet points, all the content that comes with a Cloud CMA. I'll just print out this one page and save it and email it to them. That's down here under CMA Summary. You have CMA Quick View, which just gives you a quick listing of what the homes look like and some quick comparables. It does not, however, have your subject property on there. And a little CMA spreadsheet right here. Same thing, not much data on it. I usually use the CMA Summary. I am going to go back to my, I want to see all the properties. So here are all the properties. It shows the sold and the pending. And the reason I want to show you this is because within this report, you can customize these columns. And I use this report for one person that they were really concerned about the bedroom sizes. So I got rid of some of these columns they didn't need, and I just added all the bedroom sizes in there so they could see the report, all the sizes of the bedroom. To customize any of these columns in this report, you come up here to customize fields. You have the groups here, and this is, the status. You have active, sold, pending, expired, withdrawn, and leased. Since we're going to do the sold first, you come up here to customize fields, status, sold. Now here are all the columns on the sold side. Maybe I don't need the municipal school district in there. The days on I don't want the year built, because we know they were all built about the same time. I don't want the number of garages, whatever. I just don't want to add. I just hit remove and it'll take the ones off checked. If there was something I wanted to add, you can do a quick search in here, square feet, and it'll bring up total price per square feet, total per square feet. You can do acreage. I had clients looking for, 5 acres or more. So you put in acreage. To add something, you just click it blue and then add, and it'll drop it down here at the bottom of your report. You can move it wherever you want in the report, where you want that column to appear. You hit save. Now that only changed the sold report. The pending report didn't change. I'm a little I like things to all look the same. So whatever changes I make on the sold one, so these columns all look the same, I go down and make for the pending, and if I had actives, actives as well. So we took out lot size. I already had acres in here. So I would make these columns match. So I would go into customize fields. This time I'm going into my pending report, and I'm taking out the year built. I forgot what else I took. Oh, days on market and school district. And I'm going to remove all those and going to save that. And now my pending report will look just like my sold report. So if you're going to customize any of the fields, you have to make sure that you come in here and it's kind of a pain. There's no way to change all the reports at once. You have to select which report you're changing and making the changes to. So again, this is a one-page report or two, whatever it works out to be, that you can get your clients real quickly to show them kind of without all the other fluff and data that comes with a full CMA. And again, same process. You do the search. You select the properties you want. It's got to load. Criteria. Search. They're the ones. Here are the closed ones. I'm going to select those again. Just do my. I'm not selecting this one because if I left this one in on the close just to show you, when I ran the report down here under CMA, the summary, it will skew with the sold price per square foot, because this sold price right here is, I'm going to show you real quickly, is $165,000, which puts it at $58 per square foot, which brings your average down to $148.95 per square foot. If I take that one out, now by taking that one property out, that property, our average just went up to $171 per square foot sold. So that's why you got to be careful in the numbers you put in there, because you don't want to go into someone thinking they're selling for $148 a square foot when the reality is they're selling more like $171 a square foot. So that's your quick one-page report. You would just come out and print it, and you could email this or send it to your client, or just hand deliver it to them if you wanted to. And those are those one-page reports. That's again over here under reports and the CMA part. So I covered a lot of information in an hour and a half here. We're going to about wrap it up. Cloud CMA is there's a lot more to Cloud CMA than just doing CMAs. You can also do buyer tours and other things with it. That's what all this is up here. Some really neat things with Cloud CMA, but for right now, if you need to do some CMAs, it's a great, great tool to get to, and it gives you some really good content that will help set you apart from the other realtors that are out there. Couple other things as we talked about on your homepage. Up here, if you click where it says MLS Documents in this header bar, it'll take you to some education files. Oop, I didn't click on it, sorry. And here you will see everything that we have or uploaded. You can come in here and find different PDFs and how to get some help if you need to. Also from the home page, and all the stuff we loaded up on our YouTube channel, including our webinars that we had. Here you go. I'm sorry. It's right here under MiRealSource where it says Webinar Library. If you click on that, here are all the webinars we've been doing. Certainly the last year and a half, we've been doing a lot through COVID, and you can just kind of click in here and see what we've, and where we've gone through stuff, maybe get some tips out of here. Okay. And that's again on your home page. on the left side in this purplish area where it says Webinar Library. You can click on that. If there's nothing else, that's going to be it. I'm going to kind of end this up. Contact Debbie at MiRealSource if you have anything. Our help desk is pretty good at working with, they're really good at working with people. Be patient with them. They usually get calls when things aren't going right and agents are frustrated. They're pretty good at handling things. Just stay professional when you talk to them. And again, I look forward to you guys using CMA, and it's a really, really powerful tool that can, Cloud CMA is, that can, especially if you're a newer agent or haven't done a lot of stuff and you want some good talking points, or you just want to look a little bit more polished when you're presenting something to your clients without having to go out and recreate a whole bunch of stuff or pay a lot of money for it. Again, I appreciate your time today. Thank you very much, and I hope everything's going well for you guys and you continue to grow your business. Have a great day.